So there's been a lot of work done with the kaka's relative, the kia, and that's shown itself to be a great problem solver.
Yes.
But it's remarkable no one's done it with kaka before.
Exactly, that's right. Yeah, no one has looked at the kaka's intelligence yet.
So what exactly were you setting out to answer? So this is part of your PhD research. What were you looking at?
I'm looking at individual variation in their innovative problem-solving abilities and what factors might be influencing that variation. It's something that we still know very little about, especially in wild animals.
And so when you talk about variation, that's between, say, adults and juveniles, males and females?
Exactly. Also looking at how much time they spend trying to actually solve the problem. So we take that as a measure of how persistent they are. I'm also looking at the various behaviors they show when they're trying to solve the problem.
So two of these experiments involve the feeders that they're very familiar with, and you're just modifying the feeders. The string one is a completely different problem for them.
Exactly, an entirely novel apparatus. And the reason we did that was because one of the most striking findings of the first two feeder experiments was that the juvenile birds were outperforming the adults. So in the block removal experiment, there was actually no adult that was able to solve that one. And in the lid opening, it was only one adult bird. And one possibility for that happening was that the adults are so familiar with these feeders and have their behavioral response to them that they might have had difficulties modifying that behavioral response. So they might have just not been quite as flexible in their behavior as the juvenile birds.
So you say that none of the adult birds solved the block problem. Did the juveniles solve it?
They did, yes. And the sub-adult birds, which would be individuals of about 1 to 4 years of age, they were sitting kind of in between. So they were not as good as the juveniles, but they were doing better than the adult birds.